Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today our topic is animal-like protist, the protozoa. Introduction of the topic is from the protozoans are among the ancient group of organisms. Ancient members of the archaea were the first living organisms on this planet. The archaea gave rise to the kingdom Protista about 1.5 billion years ago. The endosymbiont hypothesis is one of a number of explanations of how this could have occurred. Most scientists agree that the protist probably arose from more than one ancestral archean group. So जैसा कि मैंने लास्ट टाइम एक दो लेक्चर पहले बात की थी कि जो आर्किया है ये सबसे ज़्यादा प्रिमिटिव ग्रुप है जानदारों का, और इनसे फिर बाद में बैक्टीरिया बने और बाद में फिर यूकैरिया बने. तो जो प्रोटिस्टा हैं ये यूकैरिया के ही मेंबर हैं. तो जो आर्किया से प्रोटिस्टा जो ग्रुप बना वो 1.5 बिलियन ईयर्स अगो बना, और एंडोसिम्बियोंट हाइपोथेसिस जो है वो इसको एक्सप्लेन करती है. एंडोसिम्बियोंट हाइपोथेसिस जो है उसके मुताबिक जो कि दो मुख्तलिफ जानदार मर्ज हो गए, दूसरे का पार्ट बन गए, और बैक्टीरिया जो है वो किसी सेल के अंदर दाखिल हुए और वो उसका पार्ट बन गए और आस्ता आस्ता वो यूकैरियोटिक सेल में इवॉल्व हो गए. तो ये हम इन हाइपोथेसिस को एंडोसिम्बियोंट हाइपोथेसिस और दो और हैं तो उनको हम फर्दर लेक्चर्स में देखेंगे. Next is depending on the classification system, zoologists recognize between 7 and 45 phyla of protists. It means there are 7 to 45 phyla that divide the protist into different groups. These phyla represent different evolutionary lineages. Groups of organisms believed to have had separate origins are said to be polyphyletic. We already had discussed about polyphyletic. Poly mean many, phyletic mean origin or lineages. It means group of organisms that have different ancestors are called polyphyletic. Some protists are plant-like because they are primarily autotrophic. Primarily means basically बुनियादी तौर पर they are autotrophic. So some protists are plant-like and they are known as algae. Others are animal-like because they are primarily heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means they feed on other organisms, and these animal-like protists are known as protozoa, which we studied in this chapter. Life within a single plasma membrane. Protozoa display unicellular organization, which does not necessarily imply that they are simple organisms. It means protozoans are unicellular, but they are not are very simple organisms. They have very organized mechanisms in their body. Often they are more complex than any particular cell in higher organisms. तो कह रहे कि बात ये हायर एनिमल से जैसे हम हैं तो इनकी सिस्टम कॉम्प्लेक्स भी हो सकते हैं. सम प्रोटोजोन फाइला इंडिविजुअल्स ग्रुप टू फॉर्म कॉलोनीज, कुछ कॉलोनीज की फॉर्म में रहते हैं जैसे वॉलवॉक्स है. एसोसिएशंस ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स दैट आर नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन वन अनदर फॉर मोस्ट फंक्शंस. सो these associations are not considered as tissue level of organization because they are independent from each other. They just live together, but all the cells of the group perform their own functions. Protozoan colonies, however, can become complex, with some individuals becoming so specialized that differentiating between a colony and a multicellular organism becomes difficult. So there are some exceptions. Some colonies of protozoans have specialized cells, so sometimes such colonies of protozoans are mistakenly considered as multicellular organism. Maintaining homeostasis. First of all, what is homeostasis? Homeostasis means maintenance of internal body systems despite of any change in external environment. तो होम्योस्टेसिस का मतलब है कि बॉडी के अंदर की जो इन्वायरमेंट है उसको मेंटेन रखना, उसमें टेम्परेचर भी शामिल है, उसमें वाटर आयन बैलेंस भी शामिल है, एटसेट्रा। तो उनको मेंटेन रखना, बाहर चाहे जो मर्जी फ्लक्चुएशन, जो मर्जी चेंज आए। इरेगुलर अरेंजमेंट ऑफ माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल्स कॉल्ड द पेलिकल underlies the plasma membrane of many protozoa. So outermost layer of the body of protozoan is the plasma membrane. After plasma membrane there is a regular arrangement of microtubules called pellicle. The pellicle is rigid enough to maintain the shape of the protozoan, but it is also flexible. So just like in humans, under our skin there are muscles, muscles are present, just like that in protozoans after plasma membrane pellicle is present. The cytoplasm of a protozoan is differentiated into two regions. So it means outermost layer is a plasma membrane, then pellicle, and after pellicle cytoplasm is present. Cytoplasm has two regions. Number one, ectoplasm. What is ectoplasm? The portion of the cytoplasm just beneath the pellicle is called ectoplasm. It is relatively clear and firm. The other portion is called endoplasm, which is inner cytoplasm and is usually granular and more fluid. So cytoplasm is further divided into two groups or two regions. One is ecto mean outside, which is present just under the pellicle, and it is relatively clear and firm. Firm का मतलब है मजबूत, mean relatively thick. The inner cytoplasm, which is called endoplasm, is relatively more fluid, more liquid. It means less thick and granular. Granules are present. आप कहने के दानेदार. Most marine protozoa have solute concentrations similar to that of their environments. So the protozoans that live in marine water mean समंदर में have solute concentration similar to that of environment. तो उनकी बॉडी में जो सल्यूट नमकियात की जो कंसंट्रेशन है वो इन्वायरमेंट से मुराद यहाँ पे समंदर का पानी है, तो समंदर के पानी के इक्वल होते हैं, सिमिलर होते हैं। जबकि जो फ्रेश वाटर में रहते हैं प्रोटोजोआ, फ्रेश वाटर से मुराद रिवर का पानी है, जो बहता हुआ साफ पानी हो। फ्रेश वाटर प्रोटोजोआ must regulate the water and solute concentrations of their cytoplasm. तो उनको रेगुलेट करना, रेगुलेट से मतलब मेंटेन करना पड़ता है। Water enters freshwater protozoa by osmosis because of higher solute concentration in the protozoan than in the environment. तो उसका मतलब है कि इनकी बॉडी के अंदर जो फ्रेश वाटर में रहते हैं प्रोटोजोन, इनकी बॉडी के अंदर सल्यूट कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा होती है एज कंपेयर टू इन्वायरमेंट। जहाँ पे इन्वायरमेंट से मुराद फ्रेश वाटर है, जो दरिया का पानी है। तो ऑस्मोसिस का आपको पता है कि ऑस्मोसिस इज द मूवमेंट ऑफ वाटर मॉलिक्यूल फ्रॉम लोअर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सल्यूट टू हायर कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ सल्यूट। तो पानी में फ्रेश वाटर में सल्यूट कंसंट्रेशन कम है और प्रोटोजोन के अंदर सल्यूट कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा है, तो ऑस्मोसिस के ज़रिए पानी इनके अंदर दाखिल होता है। तब इसको उन्होंने जो एक्स्ट्रा वाटर दाखिल हो रहा है उसको उन्होंने बॉडी से बाहर निकालना होता है। तो उस मकसद के लिए इनमें मुख्तलिफ तरीक़ाकार हैं, जैसे कि कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल वैक्यूल्स remove this excess water. In some protozoa, contractile vacuoles formed by the coalescence of smaller vacuoles. coalescence का मतलब कि मिलकर बाहमी तौर पे, तो बाज़ प्रोटोजोन के अंदर एक ही बड़ा कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल वैक्यूल होता है जो छोटे छोटे वैक्यूल से मिलकर बन जाता है। और कुछ के अंदर द वैक्यूल्स आर परमानेंट ऑर्गेनेल्स दैट कलेक्टिंग ट्यूब्यूल्स रेडिएटिंग इनटू द साइटोप्लाज्म फिल। तो कुछ के अंदर कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल वैक्यूल आरसी बनता है जब पानी एक्स्ट्रा हो जाए, और कुछ के अंदर कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल वैक्यूल परमानेंट मौजूद रहता है, ठीक है, जिसका काम यही होता है कि वो उसकी ब्रांचेस होती हैं, ट्यूब्यूल रेडिएटिंग उसमें से निकली होती हैं छोटी छोटी ट्यूब्यूल्स जो साइटोप्लाज्म से एक्स्ट्रा पानी को कलेक्ट करती हैं। Contracting microfilaments have been implicated in the emptying of contractile vacuole। तो कहने का जो माइक्रोफिलामेंट होते हैं इनके वैक्यूल्स के अंदर, तो ये माइक्रोफिलामेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं, इनको दबाते हैं, जिससे कि कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल वैक्यूल के अंदर जो पानी है वो बाहर निकल जाता है, एम्प्टी हो जाते हैं। Most protozoa absorb dissolved nutrients by active transport or ingest whole or particular food through endocytosis। तो ये अब इनका मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन है। तो कह रहे हैं कि ज़्यादातर जो है वो एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट से फूड को अब्जॉर्ब करते हैं। एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट आपको पता है कि मूवमेंट ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल फ्रॉम लोअर कंसंट्रेशन टू हायर कंसंट्रेशन अगेंस्ट द कंसंट्रेशन ग्रेडियंट बाय यूजिंग एनर्जी। तो एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट में एनर्जी दरकार होती है, तो या तो वो एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट के जरिए फूड हासिल करते हैं या फिर दे इंजेस्ट का मतलब निगलना, निगल जाना, होल और पार्टिकुलर फूड थ्रू एंडोसाइटोसिस के जरिए। एंडोसाइटोसिस भी आपको पता है कि जो लार्ज फूड पार्टिकल है उसको सेल मेम्ब्रेन जो है उसके इर्द गिर्द जो है वो वहाँ पे डिप्रेशन बनता है और उसको अंदर ले जाते हैं एज ए फूड वैक्यूल। सम प्रोटोजोआ इंजेस्ट फूड इन ए स्पेशलाइज्ड रीजन एनालोगस टू ए माउथ कॉल्ड अ साइटोफेरेंक्स। अब ये तीसरी किस्म है कि कुछ के अंदर जो है वो माउथ की तरह का एक स्ट्रक्चर पाया जाता है जिसको साइटोफेरेंक्स कहते हैं। एनालोगस का मतलब है स्ट्रक्चर डिफरेंट, फंक्शन सेम। तो माउथ वाला फंक्शन तो है लेकिन स्ट्रक्चर डिफरेंट होता है साइटोफेरेंक्स का। डाइजेशन एंड ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ फूड अकर्स इन फूड वैक्यूल्स दैट फॉर्म ड्यूरिंग एंडोसाइटोसिस। तो डाइजेशन भी होती है और ट्रांसपोर्ट भी किया जाता है फूड को फूड वैक्यूल्स के जरिए। एंजाइम्स एंड एसिडिटी चेंजेस mediate digestion. Food vacuoles fuse with enzyme containing lysosomes and circulate through the cytoplasm, distributing the products of digestion. So food vacuoles become fused with lysosome। आपको पता है कि लाइसोसोम जो है वो डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम containing ऑर्गेनेली होती है जो फूड वैक्यूल में पाए जाने वाले फूड को डाइजेस्ट करती है। आफ्टर डाइजेशन इज कंप्लीट द वैक्यूल आर कॉल्ड इजेक्शन वैक्यूल। इजेस्ट करना, निकालने वाले। तो जब डाइजेशन कंप्लीट हो जाती है तो पीछे से वेस्ट रह जाता है, तो फिर इनको फूड वैक्यूल को इजेक्शन वैक्यूल का नाम दिया जाता है। They release their contents by exocytosis, sometimes at a specialized region of the plasma membrane or pellicle called cytopage. So they release their extra waste material by exocytosis. Exocytosis is just opposite to endocytosis, in which vacuoles get attached with plasma membrane and releases their content to their environment. Sometimes exocytosis is occur at a specific sites of plasma membrane called cytopage. Because protozoa are small, they have a large surface area in proportion to their volume. It means their surface area to volume ratio is much larger. This high surface area to volume ratio facilitates two other maintenance functions, that is gas exchange and excretion. Gas exchange involves acquiring oxygen for cellular respiration and elimination of the carbon dioxide which is produced as a byproduct. Second function is the excretion, is the elimination of the nitrogenous byproducts or waste of protein metabolism, which in protozoa are mostly ammonia. So the waste, nitrogenous waste in protozoans is ammonia. Both these important functions, that is gas exchange and excretion, occur by diffusion across the plasma membrane. Because they are very small in size, their surface area to volume ratio is very high. That's why they need no special structures for gas exchange and excretion, and they simply exchange these two important functions by simple diffusion. Diffusion means movement of molecules from a higher concentration to lower concentration. This is a generalized picture of protozoan cell, and all major structures are shown in this figure. As you can see, the outermost layer is a plasma membrane, and then pellicle, and then cytoplasm. Cytoplasm has two regions, as we have discussed previously, and there are many organelles showing in this picture, that is contractile vacuole with its collecting tubules. There is cytopage for excretion, lysosome for digestion, food vacuoles, mitochondria, cytopharynx, endoplasmic reticulum, nuclear envelope, nucleus, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, etc. All structures are very clearly visible in this picture. Next is the reproduction of protozoans. Protozoans reproduce both asexually and sexually. First of all, we discuss asexual mechanisms of protozoans. One of the simplest and most common forms of asexual reproduction is binary fission. Binary fission is a very simple mechanism in which mitosis produces two nuclei that are distributed into two similar sized individuals when the cytoplasm divides. During cytokinesis, cytokinesis means division of cytoplasm, some organelles duplicate to ensure that each new protozoan has the needed organelles to continue life. Depending on the group of protozoa, cytokinesis may be longitudinal or transverse. So binary fission, as shown by its name, the division of cell into two equal or nearly equal halves. And the mechanism of binary fission is very simple. First of all, nucleus is divided into two nuclei, and then the cytoplasm or whole cell divides. There are two types of binary fission, that is longitudinal and transverse. Second type of asexual reproduction is the budding. Budding is actually somewhat different from binary fission. During budding, first of all, mitosis takes place, in which nucleus divides into two, and then one nuclei along with some cytoplasmic mass incorporated into a outgrowth which is called bud, and after some time this bud separate from the main body and become an separate individual. तो बडिंग में क्या होता है कि एक बड बनता है. बड क्या है कि एक न्यूक्लियस और कुछ साइटोप्लाज्मिक कंटेंट उसमें चल जाता है. एक आउटग्रोथ होती है, बाहर होता है. कुछ टाइम के बाद वो आउटग्रोथ टूट के अलग हो जाती है और एक अलग जानदार बन जाता है. थर्ड टाइप ऑफ एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन इज मल्टीपल फिशन और शाइजोगोनी. मल्टीपल मीन मैनी फिशन, टूटना, ज्यादा जगहों से टूटना. It occurs when a large number of daughter cells form from the division of a single protozoon. So it is a type of asexual reproduction in which a single cell divides into many daughter cells. Schizogony begins with multiple mitotic divisions in a mature individual. So it is in schizogony, nuclei divide many times to produce many daughter nuclei within the parent cell. When there are enough number of nuclei are present, then the cytoplasm or cell divides into several daughter cells. When a certain number of nuclei have been produced, cytoplasmic division results in the separation of each nucleus into a new cell. Next is the sexual reproduction. It requires gamete formation and the subsequent fusion of gametes to form a zygote. So for sexual reproduction, two steps or two requirements has to fulfilled, which are number one, the formation of gametes or production of gametes, and number two, the fusion of gametes. In other words, there are two steps of sexual reproduction. First one is the formation of gametes and second one is fusion of gametes. In most protozoans, the sexually mature individual is haploid. Gametes are produced by mitosis and meiosis follows union of the gametes. Ciliated protozoa are an exception to this pattern. So this means in general those protozoans which reproduce sexually are haploid and they produce gametes by mitosis. So gametes are also haploid. In humans, gametes are produced by meiosis. So it is there is a difference between the protozoans and other higher animals. In protozoans, gametes are produced by mitosis, so gametes are haploid, and then they fuse to form a zygote. Zygote is a diploid, and then meiosis occur in zygote. So this is the difference. Meiosis occur after fusion of gametes, that is when zygote is formed, then meiosis occur, so that the number the haploid number of chromosomes could be ensured. Ciliated protozoa are an exception. In ciliated protozoa this pattern is not followed. We will discuss about the life cycle of ciliated protozoa in this chapter later on. So this is the picture of cell asexual reproduction, that is binary fission. In diagram A, longitudinal binary fission, and in figure B, transverse binary fission is shown. As you can see, in longitudinal binary fission, the body of animal is divided from anterior to posterior side, while in transverse binary fission, body is divided from along their equator. Next is the symbiotic lifestyles. So first of all, what is symbiosis? Symbiosis is an intimate association between two organisms. Simply, symbiosis means the association between two individuals. There are further different types of associations. So let's see what different types of symbiosis are present in protozoans. So number one is parasitism. For many protozoa, these interactions involve a form of symbiosis called parasitism, in which one organism lives in or on a second organism called a host. So in parasitism, there are two individuals, they have association in which one organism lives in or on a second organism, and that second organism is called a host. So there are two organisms, one is a parasite and other is a host. The host is harmed and usually survives at least long enough for the parasite to complete one or more life cycles. तो कह रहे कि जो होस्ट है उसको नुकसान पहुंचता है क्योंकि जो पैरासाइट है वो उसके ऊपर रह रहा है या उसके अंदर रह रहा है और उससे वो खुराक हासिल कर रहा है, तो उसको एक नुकसान तो पहुंच रहा है बहरहाल कि उसका खुराक जो ज़ाया हो रही है और बीमारियां भी, उसकी डेथ भी हो सकती है. The relationship between a parasite and its host are often complex. Some parasites have life histories involving multiple hosts. तो कुछ पैरासाइट एक से ज्यादा होस्ट पर अपनी जिंदगी गुजारते हैं. The definitive host harbors the sexual stages of the parasite. So there are two types of host. One is definitive host. Harbor means बर्दाश्त करना. तो in definitive host, sexual stages of parasites are present. In other words, parasite reproduce sexually in the definitive host. The sexual stages may produce offspring that enter another host called an intermediate host, where they reproduce asexually. So intermediate host is that host on which parasites reproduce asexually. Some life cycle requires more than one intermediate host and more than one immature stages. For the life cycle to be complete, the final asexual stage must have access to a definitive host. So there should be a definitive host. Without a definitive host, the life cycle of parasite could not be completed. Second type of symbiosis is commensalism. Commensalism is a symbiotic relationship in which one member of the relationship benefits and the second member is neither benefited nor harmed. So commensalism में एक member को फायदा होता है, वो उसके ऊपर रह रहा है, उसके जरिए वो एक जगह से दूसरे का मूव कर रहा है, लेकिन दूसरे को ना फायदा हो रहा है ना नुकसान. For example, some small fishes attaches to large fishes, and large fishes migrate hundreds of kilometers, and small fishes by attaching themselves to a larger fishes, they can migrate from one place to another place. So in this association, larger fish get no harm and no benefit, but the smaller fish get benefit from this association. Third type is the mutualism. Mutualism is the type of symbiotic relationship in which both species get benefit. So in mutualism, both members of the relation get benefit from the association.